What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Henry Cejudo warned Kamaru Usman not to get too excited about a potential title shot if Jack Dela Maddalena manages to defeat Islam Makhachev. Cejudo explained that if JDM pulls off the upset, the entire title picture changes. Islam has already made it clear he wants Usman next, but Jack hasn't committed to any specific opponent. According to Cejudo, that uncertainty could complicate Usman's path to regaining championship status. During their discussion, both Cejudo and Usman broke down the matchup, emphasizing how underrated Jack truly is. They believe he's far more dangerous than most fans acknowledge and possesses the skill set to push Islam in surprising ways. Adding more intrigue, Max Holloway predicted a third-round knockout for JDM, arguing that despite the common belief that Islam never gasses, past fights show he can fade under the right pressure. Max believes Jack's patience, precision, and body work could slowly wear Islam down before landing a decisive shot. The implication is clear. Both the lightweight and welterweight divisions may be on the verge of a major shakeup, and Jack Dela Maddalena could become the unexpected disruptor in the UFC landscape. Cejudo also highlighted the stylistic dynamics. If Islam gets the fight to the canvas, he holds the clearest advantage. His grappling, chain wrestling, and dominant front headlock positions make him a nightmare once the fight hits the ground. But what intrigued both analysts was Islam's recent confidence in his striking. Cejudo noted that if Islam is genuinely willing to stand with a clean, sharp striker like JDM, it suggests he has a deeper belief in his evolving stand-up game. When asked who has more to gain with a victory, Cejudo firmly chose Jack. With most fans and analysts favoring Islam, a win for JDM would not only shock the world, but disrupt the division's current plans, and potentially derail Usman's hopes as well. Cejudo concluded that Jack might avoid fighting Usman altogether, making this matchup even more critical for Kamaru's future. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for latest MMA updates. We truly value your support and needs your help to grow. Move on to another news. Chael Sonnen recently revealed a private conversation he had with Islam Makhachev just days before UFC 322. According to Chael, Islam hasn't fully shut the door on the lightweight division. Even though he is currently chasing the welterweight title, he admitted he still feels a strong connection to 155 and eventually wants to compete in both divisions rather than abandon the weight class where he built his legacy. Chael also shared that Islam was asked to name the greatest welterweight of all time. Surprisingly, he did not choose Kamaru Usman. Like many, including Dana White, Islam picked Georges St. Pierre as the division's all-time best. Meanwhile, Dana emphasized the enormous stakes for Jack Dela Maddalena, saying Jack might feel overlooked today, but if he defeats Islam, he will be beating one of the greatest fighters ever. Dana claimed that Jack's entire life would change the moment the belt is wrapped around his waist, calling this opportunity career-defining. Another major storyline is the potential super fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. If Islam defeats JDM and Topuria successfully defends his lightweight title, the matchup becomes almost certain. Over the past week, Dana, Islam, and Ilia have all expressed clear interest. Chael then explained his personal encounter with Islam. 2 days earlier, Islam approached him during media obligations and asked for a quick wrestling lesson in front of the entire room. Islam told Chael he admired his wrestling technique, which Chael said genuinely meant a lot to him. They worked through specific wall positions, including situations Islam was concerned about from Jack's game. Chael admitted Islam felt like he was operating at a higher level, yet he still showed great respect and eagerness to learn. Chael added that even while they trained, he sensed Islam's mind was still partially attached to the lightweight division. To Chael, it was clear that Islam sees 155 as something that still belongs to him. He said he would prefer Islam to fully commit to welterweight, especially since he looks bigger, stronger, and capable of making a true run at 170. Chael concluded by sharing this now so he can reference it again after the fight. Move on to another news. After Cody Haddon withdrew from his UFC 322 bout against Malcolm Wellmaker, the matchup was quickly restructured, with Wellmaker now set to face Ethan Ewing instead. UFC President Dana White addressed the situation publicly, making it clear he was disappointed with Haddon and his team. Although reports claimed Haddon pulled out due to a broken foot, Dana hinted that the injury might not be the whole story, suggesting something else may have been behind the withdrawal. Dana's frustration is nothing new. He has often criticized fighters who pull out, especially when their absence disrupts major cards. He previously called out Arman Tsarukyan after he withdrew from a scheduled fight with Islam Makhachev due to a reported back injury. He also openly expressed irritation when Shavkat Rakhmonov withdrew from a title fight against Bilal Muhammad, and when Movsar Evlov was sidelined for months with a serious knee injury. In each case, Dana emphasized emphasized professionalism and accountability, especially when fighters are part of high-stakes matchups. Speaking about Hayden's withdrawal, Dana said both fighters invest heavily in training camps and preparation, noting that it costs time, money, and effort to get ready. He added that if Hayden wants to continue in the sport, he may need different people around him. Dana also highlighted how expensive event logistics are, from hotel costs to transportation, stressing how cancellations impact everyone involved. Malcolm Wellmaker then broke his silence, confirming the news. He explained that he received the call in the morning informing him that Hayden had broken his foot the night before and would not be able to compete. Wellmaker announced Ethan Ewing as his new opponent and admitted he knows very little about him, but is ready to move forward with the fight. Move on to another news. During the UFC press conference, Carlos Prates delivered a bold warning to welterweight champion Leon Edwards' thigh. Speaking confidently to the media, Prates declared that he intends to become the first fighter to knock Edwards out, and he plans to do it in the very first round. He backed up his statement by comparing Leon to two of his previous opponents, Jeff Neal and Li Jingliang, both of whom had never been knocked out before facing him. Prates said he has made a habit of handing fighters their first KO loss inside the UFC. He reminded everyone that Li Jingliang had never been finished by knockout until he faced him, and Jeff Neal had a similar history before Prates stopped him as well. Prates insisted that Saturday night will follow the same pattern, claiming he will knock Leon out to secure his long-awaited title shot. He emphasized that he believes he's the best at delivering first-round knockouts against fighters who have never been stopped, and he intends to prove that once again on fight night. The question now is whether Carlos Prates can truly outstrike one of the most technical welterweights in the world and finish Leon Edwards early. Fans are already debating whether Prates' power and aggression are enough to break through Leon's elite defense and disciplined striking approach. Adding to the spectacle, Prates arrived at Fight Week in a custom UFC and Marlboro-themed Toyota Supra, drawing attention before even stepping into the cage. The flashy entrance sparked conversation online, with many joking that his sponsorship money must be treating him very well. Move on to another news. In a recent interview, Islam Makhachev made it clear that he doesn't care about the UFC's pound-for-pound rankings. Speaking with Main Event TV, Makhachev said he doesn't put any value on the list because he doesn't trust the people who create it. He explained that while he can work hard, win fights, and earn championship belts, he has no control over how the rankings are decided or who gets placed where. Makhachev stated that he focuses entirely on what he can control inside the octagon. Becoming champion is something he can achieve through his own effort, but influencing the pound-for-pound list is impossible because it's determined by others. People he believes don't always judge fairly or consistently. He reiterated that his job is simple: fight, win, defend, and keep collecting belts. Everything else, including outside opinions and rankings, is irrelevant to him. His comments sparked discussion among fans and analysts. Many agree that pound-for-pound rankings can be subjective and sometimes influenced by narrative rather than performance. Others believe the rankings help shape legacy and fan perception, even if fighters themselves don't take them seriously. Makhachev's stance highlights a growing sentiment among elite athletes who feel that the only rankings that truly matter are championship titles earned inside the cage. Whether fans agree with him or not, his focus remains the same: dominate his division, chase greatness in multiple weight classes, and let the results speak louder than any list. Move on to another news. The official UFC 322 weigh-ins took place this morning, and all main card bouts are set, though not without one major weight miss. The welterweight headliner saw Dela Maddalena step on the scale at 169.8 pounds, while Islam Makhachev weighed in at an even 107. Many fans are already discussing Makhachev's physique and how his transition from lightweight to welterweight may impact his performance. Both Valentina Shevchenko and Zhang Li successfully made championship weight, each coming in at 124.6 pounds. Their flyweight title fight is now officially confirmed. In the co-main event picture, Sean Brady weighed in at 169.4 pounds, with Michael Morales hitting the scale at 170.6 pounds. Leon Edwards also made weight at 170 pounds for his bout, while Carlos Prates came in just under the limit at 169.8. The only setback of the morning came from Beneil Dariush, who missed weight for his matchup with Benoit Saint-Denis that day. St. Denis weighed in at 155.6 pounds, while Dariush came in at 157.2, 1.2 pounds over the lightweight limit. As a result, the UFC announced a 20% purse fine for Dariush, though the fight will proceed as scheduled. With all matchups now official and fight night approaching, fans are sharing predictions for one of the most anticipated cards of the year. Move on to another news. Shavkat Rakhmonov has officially fired back at Jack Dela Maddalena's recent comments. In an interview with MMA Fighting, JDM questioned whether Shavkat should still be considered the #1 welterweight contender, suggesting that inactivity naturally pushes fighters down the rankings. He pointed to fighters like Sean Brady and Ian Gary, who have stayed active, and argued that the division has moved forward while Shavkat has been recovering. According to JDM, if you stay inactive, you fall behind. Guys like Brady and Gary are fighting consistently. How can Shavkat stay in the top position when others are taking fights? I'll fight whoever the UFC gives me next. Shavkat didn't stay silent. He responded on Twitter, reminding JDM that the only reason he received a title shot in the first place was because Shavkat was forced out with a torn meniscus. He added that JDM seems to have forgotten his own long period of inactivity, nearly 14 months, before facing Belal Muhammad for the title. Shavkat also highlighted that JDM's fight prior to Belal was against Gilbert Burns more than a year earlier. Despite not competing since December 7, 2024, when he defeated Ian Gary by unanimous decision at UFC 310, Shavkat has actually been out for less time than JDM was between his bouts with Burns and Belal. His layoff wasn't intentional. He underwent surgery for his torn meniscus in May and has since returned to training. Early signs indicate he is on track for a comeback early next year. The real question now is whether Shavkat deserves to face the winner of JDM vs. Islam Makhachev this Saturday. At the UFC 322 press conference, Dana White was asked if the winner of Sean Brady vs. Michael Morales could be next in line for a title shot. His response, "Sure," suggests Shavkat will likely need at least one win before being considered again. The welterweight division is heating up fast, and with Shavkat on the verge of returning, the contenders' race just became even more competitive. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev has revealed that his weight cut for UFC 322 is proving to be one of the toughest of his career. Footage surfaced recently showing him admitting he still has a significant amount of weight to drop. While some fans panicked on social media, this is simply part of the standard cutting process. Islam has been through this many times, and there's little doubt he will make weight successfully. In a recent conversation with Josh Thompson, Islam opened up about how demanding this training camp has been. He explained that he had to begin preparations nearly 3 months earlier than usual, increasing both intensity and discipline. He called it one of the hardest camps he has ever gone through. Islam also shared a humorous observation from Fight Week. He noticed Leon Edwards' opponent, Carlos Prates, casually eating Nutella pancakes during lunch. Islam said he could never imagine indulging like that while preparing for a fight, especially knowing he still has a substantial weight cut ahead. He emphasized strict discipline and sticking only to the nutrition plan provided by his team. On Josh Thompson's podcast, the former fighter, who is also close to Khabib Nurmagomedov and coach Javier Mendez, warned fans not to underestimate Jack Dela Maddalena. Thompson revealed that after speaking with both Khabib and Mendez, they all believe this will be Islam's toughest fight to date. He highlighted Jack's relentless pressure, polished striking, and vastly improved anti-wrestling abilities, calling him a dangerous matchup who should not be overlooked. Thompson praised JDM's scrambling ability to avoid the fence and strong takedown defense, noting that he has grown immensely since joining the UFC from the Contender Series. He added that JDM's size and strength make him a serious challenge for anyone in the division. With UFC 322 just around the corner, anticipation is at an all-time high. Fans are eagerly debating whether the champion will retain his belt or whether Jack Dela Maddalena will pull off the biggest win of his career. The stage is set, the stakes are high, and the MMA world is ready for one of the most competitive title fights in recent memory.